Welcome back. Kendra Taul is the powerhouse behind Social Docs, a dynamic creative agency that empowers entrepreneurs in establishing and cultivating their online brand. However, Kendra provides clients with more than just good marketing strategy. They also receive prayer, a word from God, and breakthrough in their personal and professional life. Kendra is here to share how she became a success. Kendra, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really good to be here.
Now, we have what seems like a long time, but by the time we get talking, it's over. So I want to try and dive in.
Yes.
There's something of your journey which encourages people to take the little they have and put it in the hand of God, and he makes it this global thing that you have. Tell us a bit about the beginnings of your journey.
Yeah, well, when God called me to entrepreneurship, I actually was in the 5th grade. Someone spoke media over me, and I didn't even understand the magnitude of that prophetic word. They told my family, you need to put her in media because she has a gift. And so back and forth, my family was like, we're going to do it. You know how it works. Sometimes you say it and then you don't get to it. And so fast forward years later, entrepreneurship has always been evident in my life. And so during the pandemic, I really felt like God was like, the time is now. But I was like, God, how is the time now? I have not that much money. I have a phone, I don't have a computer, and what are you exactly calling me into? And he said, what is in your hands? I started thinking about how from MySpace days, I would do my friends' profiles all night long, and it was just natural. And a friend of mine said, Kendra, you can make this a business. And when she said that, I just felt like it was a revelatory moment between me and God. And I said, Father, if this is where you're calling me to go, I'm going to do it. So I started on my phone, at my kitchen table, by the trash can. And I said, God, I will do it right here. At the time, we were living in Seattle. And it was very small beginnings.
So the turning point was you looking and saying, what do I actually have in my hands?
Yes.
And at that point, did you have a sense of the greatness ahead? Because you're working with some great brands, which I mean, I can't mention their names because you can't talk about some of them.
Yes.
Some of them you can talk about,
yes.
But you know, and I understand because some of those brands, it's privacy they buy from you.
Yes.
But you are this great brand now who's making other brands greater. Yeah. Did you have a clear sense of that when you were at the kitchen table near the trash can at home, or were you just taking the next step that you could see in front of you?
Yeah, I did not know that I was going to be where I am right now. I just knew that I had a desire for helping people brand themselves on social media. So at the time, I thought it was going to be through photography, videography, and being a social media manager. Over time, I saw God cultivate it very quickly, but I did not know that I wanted to develop brands. I didn't know that I wanted to help people speak better online. I didn't know I wanted to write, but I didn't know any of it. I just knew that I wanted to go into business, and that is where I started. So
you're a businesswoman helping other businesses 10x,
yes.
sometimes 20x their life. But a mother's watching now who's where your mother was when the prophetic word came.
Yes.
Right? What do you say to them for them to be able to see beyond this child that's running around the house, that's drinking out all the milk in the fridge?
Yeah.
You know, what do you say to them to help them see the greatness that's in that child for what the child could be?
Well, as a mother myself, I always pray that God would reveal my son's purpose to me. Father, reveal his assignment, not the assignment that I want him to be. I think as a parent, it's easy to say, you need to go to college, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I think that's just how a parent should be. You should direct your kid in a specific way. However, for the mother that I feel like creativity has a sound, has a look. You can tell when somebody's creative. And I was the kid that was like taking sheets and making canopies around my bed. I was the kid that couldn't sit still because my mind was always going. And my mom always said Kendra, you could just make something out of nothing. Creativity was evident as a child. So parents really do need to ask God to reveal to them how I can cultivate it, because cultivation looks different depending on what kid it is. And I think if you just ask the Lord, he will lead you into how to get that done.
So you talk about creativity having a sound and a look, and those people who are creative, they know each other. But
Yeah.
most generally, those same people are the ones that are never in the popular circle.
No.
They're scorned, talked about, and think, oh, you're a bit weird.
Yes.
And some people have now shied away from that God-given creativity, and now adults, they used to have the dreams of doing great things, and now that's all been put on the back burner. Is there still hope in this late hour of their life? And do you work with people like that, or do you just work with the brands that are on the move already?
No, my passion is actually the unorthodox people. My passion is the people that feel like they are outside of society's norm, because that's how I was. I do not come from a line of people that had it all together. I come from survival. I come from sobriety, people overcoming addiction. I come from massive redemption and massive transformation. So naturally, I grew up seeing people that were not, honestly, we're not the popular. And I think that God can take a story, anyone's story, no matter where you are, and he can cultivate you into who he desires and who he says that you are. And so, yeah, if you feel like you're on the outskirts, if you feel like you're not the popular, if you feel like you're not the person that gets called on, perfect. Perfect.
So our time is almost up, but there's so much I want to ask, but I'm sure people can connect with you online and ask all the questions that's in my head.
Yeah.
But for someone who's an entrepreneur, they work in their craft, but they want to reach the masses, and social platforms allows them the opportunity these days, or a church leader who wants to reach the masses, or a young man who wants to 10x his business, what are steps that they can take that you've seen work again and again, whether it's big business in Australia or small business in Arizona, steps that they can take to get to that they see?
Think about that social media is not a place where you should think about selling. Think about it as a place to connect. Take your phone out and connect with people through your voice. A lot of people just aren't talking enough. So I would say take your phone out, speak to people. Don't say, hey, y'all, hey, friends, hey, guys, hey, gang. Say, hey, you. And solve one problem at a time. You don't have to think about solving everyone's problem. Think about one problem and do it very well.
So a key thing to 10x in your journey. Connect. But connect with one person at a time, not the whole world.
Not the whole world, because it's just one person that's looking at your content. People usually don't take content in the masses. They're holding their phone. And so if you can say, how can I connect to the person that's holding their phone, and you know who you're talking to, you will always, they'll send 10 more people, and they'll send 10 more people, and now you're global.
Kendra, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.